Hey, so we're doing a video response to the question, is Chris McCandless an inspiration or a fool?
Our group believes that Chris was a fool. He acted without ever making a plan.
We made a list of reasons why our group believed he was a fool.
So our first reason that we believe he's a fool is because he left his family selfishly. He never gave them any calls, and they never knew where he was at.
He gave away all of his money and education. He had a perfect life set up for him. He could have gone and lived and had a great life and used the money to help him on his journey, but he decided to get rid of it.
He had not prepared no map or food for long-term survival.
He never accepted any help, except for getting a hitchhike or a ride or something like that.
He didn't tell anyone about the trip, so no one could help him if he got lost or hurt or whatever, and that eventually led to his death.
And he had no backup plans for if something happened.
The equipment that he did have didn't help him in the conditions for Alaska. The conditions of the Alaskan frontier is very harsh, very cold. He was not prepared.
He had anger issues. He wasn't really mentally stable enough to go out and deal with this by himself.
He had no knowledge about Alaska.
He was a road smart person. He wasn't survival smart. He wasn't the best hunter. He couldn't tell apart a caribou from an elk at one point in the book. He's road smart. I'll go into depth in that. He was road smart as in he could get a ride. He could ask people for help, get a quick short-term job to make a couple bucks on his way. But he wasn't survival smart, like making a fire, hunting, preserving animal meat. Probably the bears and stuff there probably would have been pretty bad, but his food spoiled before he even got to that point.
And then on page 181, he had insufficient respect for the land, which could have led to his demise.
And he had no plane ticket, and it was on foot.
He got was it Westerberg that offered him a plane ticket 3 times to go there, and he said it was all about the journey.
And then he could have used the money that was left over to move away from his family if he really didn't want to be with them, but he chose instead to burn it and just leave.
Another good point is he ditched a perfectly good car. He just kind of gave up on it over his anger issues. And for our last point that we're going to make is don't take inspiration from him, take a lesson. It's cool that he wanted to go out and do his own thing, but he was pretty unprepared, and that's pretty much what ended up killing him. It's cool to go off and do that own thing, but take a lesson from it. Just don't take any inspiration from it.